Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks Podcast presented by DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook and the universe's top-rated sportsbook. Damn it. Download the app and use promo code CHGO when you sign up. Happy Wednesday. I'm Jay Zawaski with Greg Boysen and Mario Tirabassi. It is gross outside, so cuddle up to your laptop, cuddle up to your podcast app. I don't know. That's weird. Whatever you're doing, make sure you smash that like button and subscribe where you're listening. We would greatly appreciate that.
Podcast and chill.
Feels like we just left, but we're back. And
you guys were here late last night.
Yeah.
Yes, we were.
Yeah,
it was worth it.
Those 8 o'clock starts will do that to you.
In Chicago.
Last night was fun because we didn't have to talk about the 2022-23 Blackhawks for the whole show. It was a nice escape for a few minutes.
Yeah.
I really like that now and again we're given a little nod from the hockey gods of, hey, we know it's been a tough stretch so far, Hawks podcast. Yeah. Here's a little bit of history for you. Here's Marian Hossa's banner. Here's the Avalanche banner. Here's
Jonathan Taze's 1,000th game.
Yeah. Here's Alex Ovechkin's 800th goal. So we're going to dive into the Ovechkin thing a little bit. Had some interesting conversations at practice about that. You're going to hear from MacKenzie Entwistle, who Greg and I caught up with after practice today. But we're going to start with some of the news from practice. I got there pretty early, as I do, and I was in the secondary rink at Fifth Third Arena, and I saw Peter Mrazek working with Chris Kunitz. And is it Brian Kane? Is that the skating coach? Is that his name?
Callahan?
I don't know. Whatever. One of the skating coaches was taking shots on Mrazek, and he was kind of working back and forth, working on the groin. I don't want to say he looked like he was in discomfort, but didn't look 100%. Did not practice with the team today, but Luke Richardson said that he is the backup tomorrow. Mm-hmm. Soderblom will get the start, so he's not hurt or anything, but I think they were just giving him a cautious day coming off the groin injury, coming off a tough start.
Maybe the groins didn't feel great this morning, so.
Yeah.
Well, and I think the situation dictated that you could pretty much give him an easy day because you have Alex Stalock, who is getting closer and closer to being healthy. So that allows Alex Stalock to get a net to himself for the whole day and give Mrazek a little bit of rest without, so he could still skate but not have to go through the vigor. And he's not playing tomorrow, so I think they're just being cautious. Yeah. If Stalock was not on here practicing, if it was or if they were both healthy and you only had 2 goalies, I bet you he probably practices with the team. But we'll see.
And a full participant. Stalock was out there. If you came in not knowing anything going on, you would think that he was.
I think Stalock is getting really close.
Yeah.
Like, as in maybe tomorrow night will be Arvid's last start until Mrazek gets hurt again.
So tomorrow night.
Yeah.
His groin fell off while walking to the parking lot. And security retrieved his groin, brought it back to the trainer's room, and they reattached it.
On his 5th groin. I don't like.
Well, go ahead.
No, I don't mean to razz on Peter Mrazek. He's a good dude. I like him, but man, he just can't stay healthy.
And I'm raising my hand as the guy who was injured in my last year of football. I hyperextended my knee, came back. My first practice back, I separated my shoulder. And I said screw it, and I popped it back in, and it still bothers me to this day because I didn't get it fixed.
That'll do
football.
That.
So I'm raising the hand as the guy who got hurt a lot, so I'm not gonna.
I'm never gonna. I don't mean to criticize guys for getting hurt. That's not what I'm doing. But it's just, sometimes you just gotta take the misery and joke about it, or else you're just gonna go insane.
If you don't laugh,
groin is a funny word.
Yeah,
it is a funny word.
Yeah, I busted up my shoulder in football my junior year. Ended up realizing I tore my rotor cuff. Didn't realize that till the next day. And
rotor cuff or rotator cuff? Are those connected?
I think they're the same.
That's what they call them in Wisconsin.
Oh, the rotor cuff?
Yeah.
Rotator.
The thing that rotates your shoulder.
Rotator cuff.
It's like 4 muscles.
I'll stop.
Here's science class. It's like 4 muscles in your shoulder that allow your arm to, there's a socket. Your arm bones.
We know what you're talking about, but you said rotor cuff. Rotator cuff.
Anyways,
in Wisconsin, it's a rotor cuff.
Stop going to the pig doctor.
Anyways, I tore it.
They don't have time for those extra syllables in Wisconsin.
And, all right, well, That's something I learned today.
Well, that sucks,
That's
though.
great. I'm wearing this. Then,
I learned how bad my injury was the summer after I did it. I was working at a produce market, the egg store, RIP egg store, and I lifted a giant box of pickles out of the freezer to go put out, and my shoulders went boom, and the entire pickle thing went on my head. F pickles. That's what I say.
That's
Not
rough.
a fan either.
All right, the other part of news from Blackhawks practice. We are back, folks, with the 5-man power play unit. Power play 1 will be five forwards. Yes,
Yeah.
5 men, 5 forwards.
As opposed to the 3 men and 2 boys when they were.
So the power play 1 in practice was Kurashev, Domi, Radish, Johnson, and Kane, with the assumption that Kurashev is there holding a space for Taves, who was out with a maintenance day today.
Yeah, host a day for Taves.
Yeah, so that's going to be it'll be Taves, Domi, Radish, Tyler Johnson, and Patrick Kane is power play 1. Power play 2, Kurashev, Athanasiou, Entwistle, and the Jones brothers on the blue line. So Luke talked a little bit about the strategy there, said the teams had been doing a good job of taking away Seth's shot on the power play, so they want to have the forwards who have been, I think he said something along the lines of, they've been creative lately. Is that kind of how he termed it?
Yeah, something. Yeah,
Yeah,
to paraphrase it.
creating lately or feeling confident with the puck lately. And I think if we reflect on the last few games, the things that have been frustrating us early in the season of not shooting, passing up opportunities, the forwards have been a lot more aggressive putting pucks on net, especially on the power play.
Yeah.
So it's good to see that Luke is looking at trends of the team and saying, all right, so the power play looked okay last night, could look better. Let's take advantage of these forwards feeling kind of some confidence here and see what we can get out of it.
They were aggressive last night. They had 11 shots on goal on the power play last night.
Yeah.
So whatever. Like, listen, at this point, do whatever you want. Like, it's not going to get any worse. So just go for it. If you got 5 guys that are shooting the puck, put them out there. At some point, they got to go in, right?
Right.
Maybe.
And
Theoretically.
Tyler Johnson, having him back in the lineup is great. I think, he jumped back into a tough assignment last night. Hey, jump back into the lineup and try and stop the Capitals and Alex Ovechkin from reaching 800 goals. It's a very tall task, and I don't think the Blackhawks were up to it as a group. But Tyler Johnson came in and he was effective, which was great. Got on the score sheet with a goal. So I think it's good to see that he's going to be back in the fold. He's going to be back in the mix, and he's going to be back on the power play, which I know not a lot of good things have been happening this year, but Tyler Johnson, when he's been healthy and on the ice, he's been one of those good things for the team.
He's also been really good on the power play this season and last year when he was available. And getting him back allows everybody to kind of slot in their proper positions anymore, because with Tyler Johnson back, that means Jujhar Khaira no longer on the second power play unit. And again, not knocking Jujhar Khaira.
No.
He's not a power play player.
He should never be on an NHL power play. It's not his thing.
I'm sure when he saw the dry erase board with his name on there, he was like,
Huh.
You sure?
really? Okay, cool. Sounds fun.
good for him. It's like,
He scored some power play goals.
yeah, he has a power play goal.
He made the most of it.
We were talking about that today when we were leaving the locker room. We talked to MacKenzie Entwistle. We're going to play that footage here in a little bit. But we're like, yeah, I really enjoy MacKenzie Entwistle. He's a really good guy, tries hard, but he should never be on your power play. But it's not his fault he's on the power play, because what else is there?
Right. Who else are you going to put
He's
there?
getting rewarded for the effort and what he's been doing. Luke Richardson is rewarding him, and who else is going to do
like
it?
there's some glaring omission.
Right,
on
we're
the
not
power play
screaming
either.
like, "Oh my God, how come Entwistle's out there and this guy isn't?" It's Entwistle's there because, well,
You
That's
go, you go down the list, and eventually his name is going to pop up. Like,
yeah. So
there's only so many power play-esque players that this team has.
you mentioned Athanasiou on the second power play.
Yeah.
He'll be back in.
back.
It sounds like Reese Johnson is going to be the odd man out against Vegas tomorrow, and Caleb Jones will be back.
And Ian Mitchell will sit.
Ian Mitchell will sit. Ian Mitchell, it's getting pretty obvious Ian Mitchell is not in the long plan terms. Or the long-term plans. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I meant.
We're all over it today.
So it's a rainy Wednesday.
This is what happens when you have to watch this team every day.
Your brain
just doesn't want to work anymore.
Starts to starts the misfire.
Yeah,
with Mitchell, I don't know. I don't see that he's any worse than Caleb Jones.
I agree with you.
Right.
But I don't know if he's...
I think it's got more to do with what's coming
Yeah.
than what's here now. Like, they're not going to commit to him long term when they know Korchinski's coming. Vlasic is still here. Regula, Phillips.
Yeah.
Eventually Sam Renzel. Like, I think it's more of like, hey, we're not going to sign you beyond this year because in 2 or 3 years, we're really not going to have a spot for you.
You're right. I agree with you. But I think you say the same about Caleb Jones.
Right.
Right.
And
I don't think he should not be back
Yeah. So
next year.
if I'm choosing between the two, and again, this is nothing against Caleb, but I'd like to see a guy in Ian Mitchell who had at one point was thought of as a pretty high prospect. The Hawks thought so. Prospect analysts thought so. And yeah, he's had some injuries and hasn't really developed because the last regime didn't know how to develop. We don't know if this regime knows how to develop either. I'd rather just let him play more and just see what he's got.
Yeah.
And maybe he becomes your, like we said the other night, your Adam Clendenning, a guy you have down in Rockford for his whole career. And anytime there's an injury, it's a guy you know can come up and give you some offense.
Yeah.
And that's just the rest of Ian Mitchell's career.
I think that's what his career is headed to, whether it's with the Blackhawks or if he
Right.
bounces around. I like Ian Mitchell, but
Maybe
he's
he
just,
wants to change.
I mean, if he could see, he sees what we see. He sees the last couple draft classes,
Yeah.
Nolan Allen, Ethan DeMastro. He sees it. So he's got to be like, you know what? I don't think I'm going to get the opportunity I want here either.
Right.
So it could be one of those at the end of the year, be like, we're cool. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thanks
See you
for- yeah.
later. You know, we'll put in. We'll write you a reference letter.
He could also
Letter
be.
recommendation.
He's also a guy who, you know, if you wanted to sweeten a trade, you know,
Sure.
like we're gonna give you Domi and Ian Mitchell for instead of a fourth, it's a third.
Yeah.
Or whatever, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know
there's-
if there's a market for that per se for a guy that's going to be an
Yeah,
RFA.
you know,
but you never know.
maybe there's a team like the Hawks who are valuing their AHL playoff experience
Possibly.
and says, hey, we want to add a guy who's going to solidify our blue line down in the American League.
Well,
and,
or
you know.
it could be a team. Yeah, there could be like if he's going to get traded this year, I think it will be for a team that wants him for a Calder Cup run, not a Stanley Cup
Exactly.
run.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with being one of those guys. You can still play professional hockey for 10 or 12 years. It's better than working in a warehouse.
Dylan Secura, Brandon Peary,
Yeah, I
Adam
mean,
Clendenning.
yeah, I mean,
On and on.
look at Garrett Mitchell, the captain of the Ice Hogs. I mean, lots of those guys.
He's the king of Rockford.
Yeah, so you know, with Mitchell, you know, people say, oh, he's only 5'10". Yeah, he's a smaller defenseman, but smaller defensemen can excel in the NHL. But I don't think Ian Mitchell has the tools to be one of those guys. He's not fast enough to close gaps on defense,
Yes.
and he's not dynamic enough with the puck to be a difference maker. So when you are that size, you have to be a difference maker offensively or be super fast to where you can make up for your lack of size by being quick to the puck, quick to the position. He doesn't have either of those.
Yeah, that's the thing is you watch him play and say, what does Ian Mitchell do really well?
Wear
Not
the
a lot.
jersey.
Yeah,
He looks good in the jersey.
51's a good number.
It's a good
I
number.
like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough, and
soupy.
yeah, right, soupy. I really thought
outside.
that this would have been the opportunity, but then the injury in camp has just derailed it, and it
Yeah.
sucks for him. But I don't want to see them just quit on him right now. Like I know you got to get Caleb back in there. Luke said today he really likes Caleb's shot on the power play.
Yeah.
Does a good job of getting it through traffic. Fine. Again, it's not an anti-Caleb thing.
The signing
but
of
it's-
Jared Tenorti really hurt Ian Mitchell.
Yeah. That's true. It's another body that you
'Cause
put in front of him. But
Luke Richardson loves him some Jared Tenorti.
yeah,
And Jared Tenorti's been fine.
that's fine. Yeah, for what what little expectations you would have had for Jared Tenorti coming in here, he has met and exceeded them.
He
which
gives
is,
the
again,
Hawks something they didn't have. Per se.
of physical, tough, mean defensive presence. Like,
Yeah,
fine.
I mean,
you take that. You take that.
McCabe can be that at times. Murphy can be that at times, but Tenorti is that 24/7.
That is
his
Tenorti's that is Tenorti's job. Whereas Murphy and McCabe can give you a little bit more of a dynamic defensive presence.
And Richardson and the Hawks have admitted this, that in order for the Blackhawks to really have a chance on a night-in, night basis, they have to be physical.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
have to get teams off their game plan. And that was non-existent last night, and we saw what happened. They
Right.
were not physical at all last night. And that's why. So that's why Tenorti has a spot, and Ian Mitchell really doesn't.
Yeah. The other thing defensively I wanted to mention regarding Caleb Jones and Ian Mitchell in that third line or third pairing spot is Jack Johnson and Seth Jones being separated. I think while it's been Johnson again, he's like Tenorti. He came in with like at the floor expectations, and he's met or exceeded them. Again, another low bar to cross, but he's done it. But I think now you're seeing how much playing 20 minutes a night, 20-plus minutes a night on 35-year-old Jack Johnson is starting to weigh on him. He's not being as inconsistently effective, where he'd have a spot or two here where you'd be like, wow, Jack Johnson's making that play, he's making that pinch, being able to step up and make this takeaway. He hasn't been able to do that a lot, and I think matching him with Seth Jones in recent weeks has been it's just not working anymore.
Right.
Especially because Seth Jones is a guy you're going to put out there for 25 minutes a night at least most nights. So then you're also throwing out Jack Johnson. I think splitting them up is a smart move. I think it was inevitable at some point.
Yeah.
And I like that Jake McCabe, who's been, I feel like we would all agree, is one of the more effective defensively minded defensemen that this team has, matching him with Seth Jones and allowing him to play 20, 21, 22 minutes a night alongside Jones will help. As minimal as it sounds, or it might be in the grand scheme of things, it'll help that pairing with Seth Jones be a little bit better defensively and allow Seth Jones to hopefully open up a little bit more offensively, which is what he's paid $9.5 million to be able to do.
Yep.
Richardson mentioned that today. I don't know if it's is that part of one of the clips we
Good
have?
question. We should find out.
Yeah.
So we're going to play this clip from practice. This is today. This is just a couple hours ago. He was actually asked, I think it was Ben Pope, asked Luke, like, does he find himself kind of learning on the job as he goes? And Luke kind of turned it into a generalized answer. But it's good stuff here from Luke Richardson. Give it a listen.
You can't really overreact after one single game. I know it's not just one game, but last night was one game. But it adds up, and then you can go back. Why did we not start well last night? We were very well aware of what was on the line on the other side, but still we just needed to play our game, and then we control what happens on the other side. And the Winnipeg, we didn't start well. Like we talk about it, and we have a morning skate that everybody's out together, and then we try and give them an option. Maybe that's some guys need to just mentally focus and take a break physically in the morning. So there's got to be some just self accountability. Each individual as a player. They have an opportunity to play in this league. So for me, I'm just kind of doing the same thing as a coach. Like maybe you got to push them a little harder some days. Maybe you got to pull back, but it's all Monday morning quarterback. I think you don't know until it's over. So that's when you learn, and you try and add that to your thought process going forward. So it's a long season. I'm going to learn a lot this year, and I think right now is just managing. In a lineup and trying to keep it consistent and my message consistent. So those guys, no matter where they are in the lineup, because whether it's injuries or call-ups, and that they feel comfortable and they know what the expected of them on the ice is. As long as I feel that we're being consistent. And today we showed positive things and negative things. We've done that from day one in camp, and we want to make sure that we consistently give them the same message, and hopefully that that they feel comfortable to consistently give the best performance they can.
And can it be mentally challenging for the guys where you have to play your A game to maybe compete against these other teams, especially in a rebuild?
No, I think that's expected of them, everybody in this league. And if you can't do that over and over again, then it's not a threat. It's just a matter of fact that someone was going to take your job, and that's the same as coaching. Coaching is the shortest lifelong job in hockey. So, you know, I mean, you got to have results. Otherwise, you know, patience runs out, and you know what I mean, like you have to make changes somewhere. So I think you just got to, you know, go to the rink every day and give it your best, and you know, make sure that you trust that the other person's giving their best, and no second guessing from me to the players, or the players to us. And that's the only way you can win in a team sport. It's not tennis or.
It's all right. It's all's forgiven.
point
He
was-
said
Sorry.
He said it's not tennis or golf.
Yeah.
Unfortunately,
I got a little excited there. I was excited to get back to you guys.
No, it's exciting. But there's a lot there. But what stood out to me was when basically asked, "How do you get these guys motivated?" He's like, "It's their effing job to be motivated.
Yeah.
And if they can't get motivated, we'll find someone who will be."
I love that.
That's throwing guys under the bus without
Yeah.
physically doing it. And that goes to a lot of the conversation we had last night when some of our chatters were starting to wonder, hey, is this Luke Richardson's fault? And it's like, no. Like, he's telling them the same things every day. He's preparing them. At some point, it's up to the players to do what's expected of them. And that's not happening. So, you know, eventually some new guys will be here and given the shot to do what's expected of them.
Yep, it's Luke Richardson and the coaching staff. They go through the X's and O's. They go through the practices. They go through the game planning. Like Richardson puts so much emphasis on video work and being able to, you know, pinpoint exactly, you know, the good and the bad that this team is doing. Each individual player is doing, and you're a professional hockey player. You've been playing hockey for 15 plus years at this point of your life. Like, you don't need hey, here we go, guys.
Yeah.
Let's go. First puck.
Play hard.
Like, yes, they say that all the time, right? You hear any mic'd up segment. All right, here we go, boys. Yeah, here we go. Jump from the start. Like, that's just them. It's muscle memory for them to just kind of pep themselves up. Like, you know, here we go. Let's start the game. But these are 28, 29, 30-year-old professional athletes. And if they need here we go, little pep, you got a problem, because you're getting paid 6-7 figures to play hockey. And if you're not ready 82 games a year to play hockey, you got a problem.
Yeah, and look, he said it earlier in the season, there's going to be those games where you just don't have it. And that's understandable, right? They are human beings. But for it to become a trend where, we talked about it last night, 24 seconds into the game, Ovechkin scored. That was probably the 5th good scoring chance they had in that game. 24 seconds in.
Mm-hmm.
That's a problem. And, you know, he said, what he said was, you know, we're chasing, we're down, so we got to change our approach. You're not down 23 seconds into the game.
No.
So what's the excuse with the start? And there you go. There you have it. They're not ready to go. And it's interesting. This other piece of tape we have, John Dietz asked him about, well, I think the question's in there, right, Lawrence? He asked him about forwards,
Yeah,
kind
we
of
got
peeling.
the- yeah.
Let's hear it. Here's what I want you to take away from this, though. This is a coach who clearly communicates to his players what they are supposed to do, because he explained it to us, and I knew what to do. If I went on the ice, I would suddenly know how to defend that play. My fat ass can hardly skate. I would get out there and get in front of the crease and tie somebody up based on what Luke Richardson says here. Give it a listen. It's really good stuff. Some X's and O's from the head coach.
In rewatching some of the goals, it looked like, at least from my standpoint, that there wasn't. Guys were kind of gliding back at times, especially thinking of the fourth goal. You know, when the 3-on-2 develops and Mrazek makes the save. Do you see a little bit of that last night? Is it some stuff that's?
Yeah, I think they hustle back early, and what it looks like to me is all of our game, our feet stop moving, and we're staring at the puck. With 5 guys' heads looking this way. We're not looking over our shoulder. We're, you know, Van Riemsdyk came in on one, and then Dowd on that one, I think. And we showed a few of those clips today, and we have to be more aware. Like, let the guys back do the job, and then 4 and 5 especially have to stop in the slot. We can't come and curl away. It looks like they're kind of gliding, and then they're curling away, but they're just following the puck. It's like tractor beam, and it pulls them in. And part of that is because we didn't do our job in the offensive zone, whether we turned the puck over or we lost our F3 and it's an odd man rush, so you're panicking to come back and save the day instead of just doing your job and letting the other guys do their job. So I think there's a bit of a trust that I mentioned to the guys today between the forwards and the D and the forwards that we were in sync at the beginning of the year, and whether we won every game, we were moving together. Now no one's moving their feet except the one guy with the puck. We have to have our forwards slashing, moving our feet, demanding the puck, and then the Ds have to move it quicker. So we have to get, both people have to join in on that, that marriage, and earn that trust back again, and that's how we have to play.
On that Van Dream cycle, do you want Kane going to the puck there? Because, or should he have been looking over his shoulder? Because Van Dream's like just racing down the middle of the ice and nobody.
Yeah, that's the one that Ovechkin backhands, right? And things. So Domi's first back, kind of in the slot, but Ovechkin's going in, and you feel it's dangerous, so he dives in, and then Kane kind of replaces Domi, but then he curls to his normal side. He needs to be there. Both of them need to be there. And to me, I think Ovechkin on his backhand, I would let the D handle that. Domi could maybe sink to the crease, and then Kane could be right behind him in the middle of the hash marks. But we need at least one, if not two, there.
I feel like I'm in the film room.
Really? We've talked about this a lot. Like, he is so willing to tell you exactly what went wrong, and they show them video. They break it down all the time. If you read Mark Lazarus this morning, it's all about Jonathan Toews and Jonathan Toews' reliance on video and using himself as an example when things go wrong and that he makes mistakes on. Like, these guys are prepared as much as they can be by the coaches. Mm-hmm. It's a matter of executing the game plan. And what frustrates me, and I think all of us, is, like we said last night, this is not a rookie team. It's not a bunch of kids. All these guys, for the most part, have a lot of NHL miles on them. Aside from Entwistle and Kurashev, a lot of these guys have played a ton of games.
Well, even Entwistle's got, what, over 100 at
yeah.
least?
I mean,
right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, these are not these are not Blackhawks. This is not a Blackhawks team that has 4, 5, 6, 7 rookies rotating in through the lineup. This is a team that is built of guys who have been around the block for hundreds of NHL games, AHL games. Like they have to be able to be prepared to start games, be prepared for all these, different situations that can come up during a game, and also be able to, execute the game plan that is put in front of you each night. And I think, with what Richardson said after the game last night was that, their structure and how they want to play gets disrupted when they're trailing constantly. So, there are the things that they want to accomplish. It's just sometimes they're forced to not play the game that they want to play. They're not able to dictate the game because they allow the first goal, or they muster a comeback. They were down 2-0, now it's 2-2, but right after the 2-2 goal, the next shift they give up the lead again, or they give up a goal again. So it's a lot of having to chase the game. So it's not really, a couple games ago he was asked about the team being able to muster up comebacks. And he says, yeah, well, we can't do that all the time. We can't force the urgency of having to come back in a game all the time, because that's not how we're able to play. It's not sustainable to be able to play, oh, we're down 2 goals, so we just got to go for it every time. That's not sustainable. That's not how anybody wants to play.
Right.
So when their structure breaks down because they have to change how they have to play, it just really complicates things. And I think at that point, you're hoping that the players that you have on the ice can, be able to keep a little bit of that structure, keep a little bit of that game plan together, but play with some desperation. And it's altering the game that they want to play, and it's just not sustainable.
This is a team that has to play mistake-free hockey to have a chance to win every night, but it's a roster that can't play mistake-free hockey.
That's tough.
It's, and Chuckle Muckle, great comment there about something Luke said earlier. you can't move on to step 2 without mastering step 1, and this team just can't master step 1. It's the truth. It is what it is. It's how this roster was constructed.
Right.
This is by design. This is exactly how it was supposed to go. So we can be frustrated to all hell about the starting on time, but it's serving a purpose. It's getting the ultimate goal hopefully accomplished, but Luke Richardson is the anti-Jeremy Colleton. It's so refreshing to have a guy that just can break things down where before, Colleton had that attitude of, I'm smarter than you. This is my system. It's going to work.
Yeah.
And if it's not going to work, it's their fault, not mine. Where Richardson's like, hey.
Whoa.
Nice.
Sorry, that's the Clowneton noise.
Where Richardson's more like, hey, you know what? I'm trying here. I'm doing it as simple as I can. But the results aren't happening because, we got to be losing 2-0 every game.
Right.
Yeah. Well, if you want to be winning, you should go to greenridgefarm.com and get yourself some delicious meat sticks for your face hole. They're amazing. Green Ridge Farm is a Chicago local meat and cheese company offering you a better all-natural option. I absolutely love their deli meats. We get the oven-roasted chicken all the time, make sandwiches all week, but I am never without the spicy chili beef sticks in my fridge. They are perpetual. They're just like the box of baking soda you keep up there.
Yeah.
There's always meat sticks in my fridge because they're amazing. You should try them too. 16 grams of protein per stick. They come in chicken, black forest beef, jalapeno cheddar, and my favorite, the spicy chili. Having a holiday party, having a charcuterie table, slice those meat sticks up, put them out there, put toothpicks in them. You are going to win your holiday party.
Fancy.
I just had a Polish sausage. We have some, the sausages in the fridge.
Of course.
And I pulled a Mario. Yesterday I got mad at him for.
Okay.
Because
I'm saying, I need to eat lunch. He's like, there's meats in there. You want to grill them up? Like, I don't have the patience to fire up the grill now.
However, he was here waiting for the Hawks game, and it was like 1 p.m, and he didn't have to leave.
No one needs to know how much time I had to kill. All right.
But I did, and I was
doesn't
also
fit
hungry,
my narrative.
and I wanted it grilled. Now he just threw it in the microwave for 30 seconds, whatever. I did that today. It was still delicious.
That's
so
fine.
I'm now
Absolutely.
fine with what Mario chose.
Heat
to do
is heat,
yesterday.
my friends.
Just nuke it.
Yeah.
Look, go get yourself some of these meat sticks. You can find them in the refrigerated section at Costco. That's the big boy. You go to Costco. It's like a I don't know. I think there's maybe 8 or 9. In the 9 would be weird. It's probably 8 or 10 in the back when you get the meat sticks at Costco. I'm assuming the same at Sam's Club.
The Costco's.
Or in your Chicagoland grocery store. It's so good. We would not lie to you. Right now, when you order any 3 meat products at greenridgefarm.com and include a pack of meat sticks in your cart, those meat sticks will be free simply by using code CHGO at checkout. Again, greenridgefarm.com. Order any 3 meat products and add those meat sticks as well. The meat sticks will be free with the code CHGO at checkout. That's greenridgefarm.com. Simply natural meats.
It's just as good as various meat products for your face hole? Saving money on tickets.
And more money for meat.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. So you could save money over at Game Time on your Blackhawks tickets, and you can take those savings and buy meat products for your face holes. It's a win-win situation. Game Time is the hottest new ticketing site that makes it easier than ever to score the best deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows. Have you ever dreamed of sitting in a seat you never thought was possible?
Yes.
Right at center ice. You want to sit on the glass. You want to sit behind the penalty box. Well, Game Time can make that happen, and they also have the biggest last-minute price drops on the seats that you thought you could never buy. You won't find a better deal on Blackhawks tickets this season. Looking at it right now, hey, you want to go see our favorite hockey player, Phil Kessel, and the Golden Knights of Las Vegas?
Speaking of meats.
Speaking of face holes and meats, Phil Kessel, he's got a lot of that. $13 is the cheapest ticket for tomorrow night's game. There's also some great deals going down. You want to go see Tampa Bay on January 3rd? $25.
Yeah, looking down the line, Buffalo.
$19.
$19
for Buffalo to see
Go see
Jay's
Tage
favorite Jay's favorite player, Tage Thompson.
And you never know. Maybe Patrick Kane will be a Sabre at that point. Just
be.
kidding. Just
I
kidding.
don't think he
Just
will be.
kidding.
Big tank game on February 7th against the Anaheim Ducks. $20 gets you in that game. So,
Ooh, Zegras, Michigan goal. Let's go.
hey, it could be the Connor Bedard Cup in that game. So head over to Game Time And if you really want to help out CHGO, and I know you do because you love us just as much as we love you, the best way to support us is by buying your tickets by clicking on the link in the podcast description. You can find it right here if you're watching live on YouTube. Scroll down from these manly men you see right now on the screen. You'll see below it the link that says Game Time. Click on that. But before you do that, smash that giant thumbs up button too. Give us a like, please. Damn it. And join over 15 million people who have downloaded the Game Time app and score the best seats for all your favorite events.
Mm-hmm. All right, speaking of CHGO, some really cool stuff to tell you about. We have gift memberships available right now. You got a Chicago sports fan in your life trying to find them the perfect gift? Get them a Die Hard membership at allchgo.com. It's an awesome deal. We just got this going today. This just launched today. So take advantage of it.
We know you haven't done all your shopping yet for the holidays.
Oh, hell no.
I haven't done any of it.
Or ask, if you're not a diehard yet, you can ask for this gift. For the holidays, just send the link directly to your loved ones, and they will knock it out of the park for you, and you could join us as diehards. And why would you want to be a diehard? Well, you join CHGO as a diehard, and you get some merch. And we've got some pretty sweet merch available, including our legendary 81 design, which we launched when 81 went to the rafters. I like when we have to be vague about stuff.
Yeah.
Go to the CHGOlocker.com.
That's because lawyers have podcasts.
Yes. CHGOlocker.com to get your legendary 81 design or any of our great CHGO designs. And when you become a diehard, you get a free shirt or hat every year upon sign up and renewal. So jump on that, and you can save
20% off every time you order
20%
Yeah,
off.
20% off every time you order.
It's like we just keep sending you Bed Bath & Beyond coupons every day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I got my new hoodie on here. Very warm, very toasty. Was rocking it at Hawks practice today. And the other thing we want to talk about, Friday is our CHGO Bulls takeover. Diehards, again, as always, save on this. Go to allchgo.com to get your tickets. Chicago versus New York at the United Center. Drinks at Crossroads before the game. A free shuttle to and from Crossroads. And, of course, a game ticket and immaculate vibes with Big Dave and Matt at the game. So all of these things available at allchgo.com, and you save on all of it when you are a CHGO diehard.
And when you become a diehard, you also get a little membership card.
Yeah.
Put that right there in your wallet.
Get
or
access
your
to the
purse.
rebuild report.
You get you get access to exclusive content on allchgo.com, and you also get some discounts on some of our partnerships as well, as far as I'm told. So that's a good reason.
2023 is going to be the year of CHGO, so get in now and don't miss out.
That's right. Absolutely. All right, we got some other stuff to get to before we wrap up. We had a really good conversation today with MacKenzie Entwistle, and Greg and I said, hey, kind of a slow news day. Let's take a look around the locker room, see who's out there ready to talk. And we remembered we spoke to MacKenzie Entwistle before the game in Denver, before the first game of the season, and that's where our conversation began, saying, hey, you told us you guys were looking to prove everybody wrong. How are things feeling
How's that
now?
going for you?
Yeah. How about that whole deal?
2 months later.
So let's hear what MacKenzie Entwistle had to say today after practice. We talked to you before the season opener in Colorado, and you talked specifically about wanting to prove people wrong and really show what kind of team it's been, and it's been a tough little stretch here. How has the mood of the room been since from the opener to now? Are things still positive? How's it feel?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it sucks losing. We're on a tough little stretch here. I think the good news is we have a lot of hockey left to play, and we know that we can play good hockey. We know, we had a couple guys injured for a while. They're all coming back now, so we got full roster back, and I think we got a couple games coming up with 4 and 6, so it's a good little stretch to try to get back into it. But no, I think at the end of the day, you come to the rink, it's positive in here, and the guys want to play for each other. It's just a little rut. I think that we know that we can play. Like I said, we know we can play good hockey. It's just a matter of doing it.
Would you rate your progression as the season's gone on? Obviously, this is like your first year where you're cemented in a spot. You're in the lineup every night. You're even getting some power play time. How do you feel your personal progression is going?
Yeah, I think I've had some ups and downs. I don't think I played great hockey by any means. Like you said, this is kind of the first year that I have been in the lineup for the majority of the game. So for me, I just got to do something every single night that is whether it's playing hard defensively, winning faceoffs, getting hits. I'm trying to do that every single night, and I think I still can improve. I think for me, the biggest thing is holding on to pucks more, making a little bit more plays down low, especially in the offensive zone. I think I get some pucks, and I kind of stop moving my feet, whereas I can use my size and protect the puck a little bit more. But I think that those are things that I've been working on in practice every single day, and I just kind of continue to grow as a player and continue to learn. But I think there's definitely some room for improvement, and like I said, we got a couple games coming up in this next little bit, and that's kind of in these games I really want to prove that I can play still and be effective every single night.
It seems like it's been better lately from a team perspective, but we saw as the offense was struggling, guys even maybe a little more hesitant to shoot. Do you think that comes with the frustration of not just trying to be perfect? How do you explain that when the goals aren't coming, the hesitance to shoot?
Yeah, I think, I mean, it's at the end of the day, you got to put pucks on net in order to score. So for us, I think, like you said, when things aren't going well, I think you're not scoring every single night. I think that's kind of sinks into your game a little bit. You try to make the perfect play, and I think we just got to get back to playing simple and putting pucks on net. And there's a lot of rebounds, a lot of chaos in front that you look at some goals that have been scored over the past little bit. They've all been kind of rebounds in front and tap-ins or battles in front that you win. So, it's a balance here and there, but I think at the end of the day, it all comes from shots on net and having that shooting mentality. I think we've lost that a little bit.
I'm sure you're getting tired of us asking about the starts of every game, but it's, you guys have been chasing the majority of the season. It seems every night it's 2-0, but you guys don't give up and get yourselves back in games. But how important is it to consistently start scoring that first goal?
Yeah, it's I think the first little bit of it, I want to say it was 30 seconds of that game we were down 1-0. So that's obviously tough, especially against a team like that to come back. They're highly offensive, so I think for us, we got to find a way to start, like you said, start games better, because we know that we can stay in it, and we've shown, when it's 2-0, 1-0, 3-0, we can come back and we can stay in the game, and we did fight back that last game, and I think we had a lot of chances that could have won either way, and kind of ended up on the wrong side. And then once they get 1-2, it kind of piles on a little bit. So, I think for us, it's like I said, just starting the game on time, being hard on their top line, and trying to limit their chances. Obviously, those guys are going to get chances and get looks. It's just about limiting them. And I don't think we did the greatest job at that. I think, especially in the first period, I think later in the game is a little bit better, but and that's ultimately why we kind of stayed in it until the latter half of the game, right? So, start games on time and have a little bit more shooting mentality, and I think we'll be fine.
What was it like watching Ovechkin hit 800 last night?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Obviously, you hate to lose, and you kind of don't want to be the team that he scores a hat trick against. But when you take a step back and look at what he's accomplished and been able to accomplish, it was pretty cool. I don't want to say it was cool to be a part of just because it was against us, but when I'm done playing, I think that's going to be sort of something that it's pretty crazy that he could do it. And I think ultimately he's probably going to be the greatest goal scorer ever to play. So, it's a testament to him, and the puck kind of falls in, and he knows how to score. So it was it's pretty, congratulations to him. It's cool.
Great, thanks.
Yeah, anytime. Thanks.
First of all, I like MacKenzie Entwistle. That is a thoughtful hockey player that says stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciated when I was covering the Ice Hogs and he was down there. Mm-hmm. I always like, okay, great. They brought us MacKenzie Entwistle. I'm going to get actually more than 6 one syllable
obviously,
words.
obviously, and
he is
obviously,
a very
obviously.
well-spoken, intelligent young man.
Yes.
If he had parents, they'd be proud of him.
My favorite thing. The dumbest thing about this is we didn't even play that comment on the air, so it's only our joke.
I don't care.
I know.
So good.
I have no idea.
Okay,
You have to give us these little moments because this season is freaking miserable.
we have to. All right, every now and again we have to re-explain the no family MacKenzie Entwistle thing.
He has parents.
We
Yes, he
talked to
does.
him
His mom followed.
before the game in Denver, the opening game of the season, and he said he was talking about how everyone was excited, and their families were there, and everyone was excited for the game. And he's like, I don't have a family. What he meant was
He doesn't have a wife and kids.
He didn't have anyone there, and didn't have anyone there watching the game with him.
But these three idiots are going to take it to a whole different
That's
level.
what he said. I don't have a family, and we're like, oh, that's sad.
He's got
You
no
know,
parents. That's terrible.
And had we had a better relationship, we kind of would have called him on it, like, oh, what happened to your family? Was there like some kind of accident or whatever, you know? So it is our inside joke to each other that we have now brought to the air, and it's not funny for anyone but the three of us. But Lord, give us this, please,
Yes.
because it sustains us.
There's very
every
few
time.
moments to like have a good laugh at this season, and they're good. It's good for the soul. I actually feel a little bit better after that.
Yeah, no, it's good. And after we talked to him, I actually like just put the recorder down and was talking to him about Ovechkin, how Ovechkin just stands there.
He doesn't
like,
skate.
He doesn't skate until it's time to skate, and then he gets the puck and he scores. Rinse, repeat 800 times.
That's why he's going to play till he's 45. That's why I
It's
have
all
no
right.
doubt he's breaking Gretzky's record.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Anyway, no, just, you know, the vibe is still pretty good. Like, we watch
Seemingly,
practice,
yeah.
we're in the room. No one seems like, no one's stomping around. No one's pissed off. Patrick Kane talked today at length because Kane and Taves are about to play their 1,000th game together.
I think Sunday
Which is
that milestone.
Kind of cool. Another thing we can talk about.
Yeah, that's fun.
Fucking God,
Well,
it's
it
all
was
right.
it was a little weird because I got over to Kane after the first question was asked.
Me too.
And he kept talking about Taves. I'm like, did Taves retire? Is that why he's not here today? Like, it was like, did I miss something? Did he finally like waive his no trade clause? But I didn't realize they were talking about they're going to play in their 1,000th game together Sunday against the Rangers. I believe is that milestone.
But he, you know, even Kane was chuckling, laughing, joking around. The room is loose. The guys are.
I think they
mostly
understand. They know what this is.
Yeah.
They knew what this was before the season started.
Yeah.
And that whole, hey, we're going to prove people wrong at the beginning of the year. I don't know if they necessarily believe that, but you got to say that.
You got to say it.
You
You
gotta-
got to have some sort of belief in yourself. And now that reality is kind of sit in, listen, these guys are, I think most of them are like, yeah, this isn't a great situation, but let's make the best of it, or else we're going to be complete. I take it the attitude that I have when I go to the rink every day. I'm super lucky to be covering an NHL team.
Yeah.
Regardless, it's a really bad team right now, but you know what? It's still pretty freaking cool. And I'm sure a lot of these guys are like, yeah, I'm playing on a really bad NHL team, but I'm playing in the freaking NHL. Like, let's make the best of a bad situation.
There's never a bad day being an NHL player
No.
because you are an NHL player.
Yeah, I mean, I've had people ask me this year, like, man, how is it covering such a bad team? And I said, you know what? The worst day at the hockey rink is still better than the best day in a cubicle.
Right. I absolutely agree. And yeah, I think the roster, as much as the narrative was, oh, no one's believing in us, so we're gonna believe in ourselves and we're gonna prove people wrong. And yes, we have a chip on our shoulder, and you know the start that they got out to was great. But I think, you know, they're not fooling themselves. They have to look around the room, and then when they're out on the ice, look down the bench at the other side and go, we're outmanned tonight, huh?
Well,
So it's
they're
this
reminded of that every night.
yeah. So it's this
Quickly.
narrative that you have to kind of just remanufacture up the okay, we gotta prove people wrong. We got, you know, everything like that. When you're on a bad team, you know it. It's not a mystery. My senior year of high school football, we had 13 warm bodies and 5 of them were freshmen. This is a varsity high school football team. I had no delusions that we were going to make the playoffs or make a run to state or win conference. We got our teeth kicked in, and you knew it was going to happen. But you had to go out and do it. You had to go out and put your best foot forward, because what else are you going to do? And that's what Jonathan Toews said last night. And being in that media scrum post-game last night, it felt tense from Toews. And it really felt like I walked out of the locker room thinking he is done with this team. And I really felt that way because of how he was talking and talking about, like, well, what else are you going to do? Same old, same old. Just gotta plow through it. Can't let the frustration seep in. But his body language was like, you are frustrated to hell.
Yeah.
And I think maybe I read in a little bit too much to that, because we all know Jonathan Toews is prone to grumpiness sometimes.
Well, especially, for a guy that intense, immediately before and following a game, he's going to be extra ramped up.
Right, yeah. And when most questions are about, hey, Alex Ovechkin just set the record or just made history against you guys. How does it feel? Oh, it feels like shit.
Yeah.
So I understand it from that. But his messaging was, what other choice do we have than to show up to the rink every day, put our best foot forward, and continue to be, professionals and try and make the best of the situation. So, I think that message is probably circulating through the players of, hey, it's not going to get any worse, so let's do all we can to try and make it better.
Well, it's interesting. Today, Mark Lazarus wrote about Toews in the Athletic, and here's the end quote of the story from Toews.
Yeah.
The test and the challenge is special when things aren't going your way in your external world, whatever you want to call it. It's a challenge for sure to keep showing up and having that attitude. You're going to have fun. You're going to work hard. You're going to enjoy the grind and the not-so-good aspects of the game. And I think if you keep doing that, you show up and you work hard and you do the right things, things do turn for you. So I don't know when Mark got that quote. Was that last night? I don't think that was last night. But there's Toews very clearly saying, hey, it's not easy, but he's trying to find the love in the process, I guess is the way to say it.
Yeah.
And we mentioned this a couple shows ago. Justin Fields said it. Like, I don't care that I'm getting better. We're losing every week, and I've never in my life lost. Right? Justin Fields has grown up and dominated grade school and high school and college, and he's just not used to that. Yeah. Toews is the same way beyond what Fields has done, because Toews came from North Dakota, a hockey hotbed, a great hockey school, was the best player his whole life, comes to the NHL, has basically instant success, is a star his first year, wins a cup his third year, then 2 more after that. It's been nothing but success for Jonathan Toews and Kane. Mm-hmm. So to go through this is extra difficult for them. Jack Johnson's been on some bad teams. Drew Jarkera's been on some bad teams. Tyler Johnson's been on some bad teams, right? Like, these guys have been through the ups and downs of it. Toews and Kane really haven't been through the ups and downs until things started going downhill for the Hawks. And even then it was like, well, Toews missed a year. Well, the coach isn't great. Well, like, there were some excuses built in. Mm-hmm. This year is really the first time there were no expectations, and it has to be a hard thing for those guys to deal with. And I think as hard as we were on them last year, I think we should be fair and say, hey, both those guys could totally throw a bomb into this entire thing right now, sulk, be grumpy, be crabby, and it would be a disaster, right? Because those two guys, they lead the locker room one way or another. And so far, their attitudes have been positive. Yeah, they get pissed off after losses. Who doesn't, right? But overall, their demeanor has been good and positive, and the team has sort of followed their example. Now it's a matter of how long can that last. And if they do go, who picks up the slack? But, of course, we've got many, many months to get to that. But
yeah, we got all summer to talk about that.
Yeah, exactly.
So summer. Maybe I can actually wear those Shady Rays by then.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to have your chance. Don't worry.
Because ever since they sent us those awesome Shady Rays,
the sun has not come out. We need Marion Hossa to come back.
Shady Shades.
Yeah. But if you'd like to get your own Shady Rays, I know a place you can do that.
Is it shadyrays.com?
It is Shady Rays.
Oh, wow.
You don't check out
What are
every
the
time
odds?
I read this read. I'm,
I don't.
I'm very happy. That means a lot. Shady Rays, they are a high-quality sunglasses company that never understood why sunglasses were so expensive. So by golly, they went out and they changed it. You do not have to break the bank for quality sunglasses because at some point the sun will come out again in Chicago, and you can look really cool at a really great price with Shady Rays.
Someone once said it comes out tomorrow.
Now that person's been lying for the last 4 days, but it's okay. It's gonna happen at some point.
Well, Greg, it does look like the sun will come out tomorrow, and that's just science.
All right, I'm not.
Is it Tom Skilling?
I mean, supposedly.
Very
Is that
good.
Casey Kasem?
I do get the Casey cross reference a lot. That's what the Sox guys were telling me yesterday. I don't know.
Well, whatever it was, I enjoyed that. Thank you, Lawrence. Shady Rays, they are premium Polaroid. They're good sunglasses. I'm just gonna skip that word today. Again, losing just fries your brain.
Yeah.
Best part about Shady Rays, it's that really awesome, insane protection program that I keep telling you about. If you lose or break your shades on day one, they told us they will send you a brand new pair, no questions asked, no matter how you destroy your sunglasses or lose them, where you lose them, how you lose them. They will replace them. Even with that strong of a protection program, they still managed to make quality that I could tell you for being a customer the last couple of years. They are just as good, if not better, than any of those expensive pairs on the market. Shady Rays also provides 10 meals to fight hunger in America with every order placed and have donated over 20 million meals to date. So not only are you going to look really good, you're going to do something really good for those in need. They stand behind their product and told our team that if anyone has a problem, they're going to take that big ball of profit, open up the giant test window at the Shady Rays factory, and throw it right out it. They don't care. You either love your Shady Rays or they will pay to ship them back. And they love our CHGO listeners just as much as we do, and they are giving you one hell of a deal. Use the promo code CHGO at checkout, and you're going to save 50% off on 2 or more pairs of sunglasses. That's buy one, get one free, kiddos. That's a good deal in any language. You can get 2 pairs of awesome Shady Rays for as low as $54. The more you buy, the more you save. Here's how you take care of your entire holiday shopping list. If you haven't done it yet, you give everybody a pair of Shady Rays, and you elevate them all to Die Hard membership, and you are going to be the coolest person in your family and circle of friends. So go check them out, shadyrays.com.
And when you're waiting for the sun to come out so you can pop on those Shady Rays in style, when the sun does come back out, you can enjoy that nice weather, enjoy that sunshine with a great set of cornhole boards from Chi-Town Cornhole. Chi-Town's custom cornhole, the #1 cornhole provider for Chicagoland and Illinois since 2007. Their signature box-style designs can be digitally printed, covered in vinyl, and painted to your liking. They're completely customizable, and they come with built-in drink holders right there in the back of the boards, which is great. Great place to put your drink while you're playing cornhole. They also have the LED lights around the hole, so when the sun does go down, you can keep on cornholing all the way through the wee hours of the night.
Never stop.
And on the exterior of the boards, they have the handles, which make it a lot easier to carry them because these are not cheap, flimsy cornhole boards. No. They are handcrafted, made of premium wood, and they have the scorekeepers in the back as well, which is also handcrafted and perfect for when you're getting good use out of those drink holders. You can keep scoring, keep the mental math out of it. Chi-Town Custom Cornhole is a veteran-owned and operated business, which is fantastic, and they can ship anywhere and offer local pickups. Perfect for those last-minute holiday orders. You can go and pick them up. Don't have to worry about shipping or anything like that. They also specialize in corporate designs for your company's next marketing or social event. They make great wedding gifts. They make great holiday gifts, gifts for all occasions, for the tailgaters and the backyard barbecuers in your family and friends group. So check them out at ChiTownCornhole.com. Make sure you follow them on Instagram at Chi-Town Custom Cornhole Boards.
And as you know, it's hockey season. It's time to light the lamp with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. New customers can bet $5 pregame money line on any NHL team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. $150. I won $350 last night on DraftKings.
Well done.
Betting on Alex Ovechkin's hat trick. That's right. That was me. If that wasn't enough excitement, thank you. You can turn small bets into bigger payouts with same game parlays. Greg won his last night as well. Combine multiple bets like which team will win, how many goals will be scored, and more for your shot at an even bigger payout. Download the wonderful DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code CHGO. Bet $5 on any NHL team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do, only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code CHGO. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. And tomorrow we've got our play of the week, so make sure you stay tuned for that. And I'm very distracted because I think, is Santa here? I keep hearing jingle bells, and the child in me is getting very excited.
I wish. I
don't know what's going on.
See if Stucky Claus makes it.
Stucky Claus might be.
Is shirtless dart guy now Santa?
Oh, that'd be fun.
That's too dark. We can't see.
Shirtless jingle bell guy.
If he's out there with no shirt today, he's got problems.
Respect.
I'm just sad no one in the chat noticed that I changed the set around
Yes, we had a
during
set
the
change.
Yeah, took my book off there.
during the Entwistle.
Interesting.
Can I just once again say how I am just amazed that I get to get paid every day to come in here, watch hockey, and say things like facehole and cornhole on a regular basis. I mean, this is just I'm living the dream, folks.
It is pretty wild. Yeah,
it's too good to be true some days.
Do not mix your meat sticks in your cornholes, though.
No, keep
not the
them,
chili ones.
Keep them separate.
Not without consent.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
All right, we're back tomorrow night after Hawks and Golden Knights. That game, NBC Sports Chicago. But just start making plans, though. Friday night against the Wild is ESPN Plus and Hulu only. So if you don't have them, get them. There's free trials available. It's very affordable. If you're a hockey fan, you should do it. Or just steal someone's password, like most of America does.
That's a better idea.
There you go. So we'll talk to you tomorrow night
endorsed.
after Hawks and Phil Kessel on the CHGO Blackhawks Podcast.